My top 5 most productive edible plants that I have growing in my garden at the moment. Still a bit sour. Hi everyone, it's Holly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 5 most productive edible plants that I have growing in my urban permaculture garden right now. Okay, number 1 is my favourite at the moment, and that is this tree here, which is called a Kumquat Tree. I don't know who chose that name, but anyway, it's a type of citrus and it has fruit that are, as you can see, sort of like grape sized, and they will go bright orange when they're ready. These ones are nearly there, but they're not quite ripe yet. I'm really into growing fruit trees, and I'd never heard of this plant before until I did my permaculture course, and one of our tutors had one growing, and she brought in some fruit and I tried it and I absolutely loved it. It's really unique. You eat the whole fruit, the skin as well. The skin is really sweet, and then the inside flesh is quite tart, and it sort of tastes like an orangey lemon. We also got to go on a few garden tours, and I saw the tree growing in a few different gardens, and the trees weren't that big, but they were absolutely loaded with fruit. Like you can see, this one here is so much fruit on it for such a small tree. So I went straight out and bought my own, and I planted it in a pot because I didn't really know where I was going to put it or have space to put it in the garden. But as you can see, I get so much fruit off a small plant that I don't even think I need to put it in the garden. The other thing I love about this tree is that this is only its second season and it's loaded with fruit. Normally with citrus, you've got to wait about 3 years for them to really start to produce fruit. And it's also recommended that you remove the fruit so that they can establish a really good root system and grow a healthy, strong plant. But because I have this one growing in a pot, I wasn't really worried about having a really big root system. I let it fruit. So I had fruit on the first season, and now the second season I have heaps of fruit, and the tree is like 3 times the size it was when I bought it. I haven't experimented much with cooking these because I haven't had heaps of them on my last season. This season I have way more, so I will try a few experiments. I think slicing them up really thin on a mandolin and dehydrating them would be cool to put in cocktails and drinks and use on baking. Even just chopped up thin fresh and put on baking would be amazing. Imagine like on top of a pavlova or something would be so delicious. The other thing that you can make with them is jams, marmalades, chutneys, and I know some people even preserve them whole. So I'm excited to start experimenting with those. But yeah, for now I've just been eating them fresh, and they're a great healthy snack. It smells so fresh, like an orange. I'm not sure if this one's quite ripe yet, but I'll give it a try. Still a bit sour. It's just so crazy that the skin is sweet and not like you expect it to be, like with an orange. Skin can be quite bitter. Number 2 is rainbow chard. If you followed me on Instagram for any time at all, you'll know that I love rainbow chard. It just brings such vibrant colours to the garden, especially in winter, with pink, red, orange, yellow, bright coloured stems, and then also lush, vibrant green colour. Again, it's super easy to grow. It grows in such abundance. From just a few plants, you can have an endless supply of leafy greens. I like to use mine chopped up in stir fries, curries, soups, anything in the slow cooker, even just chopped up in a pan with butter and garlic, or add soy sauce, ginger and chili for like an Asian inspired side dish. I also use the baby leaves fresh in salads. Number 3 is the mini eggplants. I haven't been a big eggplant fan in the past. I don't like the soggy texture of the bigger ones, but I'm always up for trying new things, so I gave these mini eggplants a go, and I have about 4 or 5 plants, and I can't even keep up with them. I have so many eggplants, they're so prolific. I probably only need 1 or 2 of these plants. So I've been eating these sliced up finely and pan fried, adding to eggs on toast or onto salads, also chopped up in stir fries and curries. I do have a whole bunch of these though, so I have some experimenting to do. I'm going to try some preserved ones, and I've also got a few weird and wonderful experiments to try with these. So once I have those done, I'll pop them up on my blog. The 2 varieties I have growing at the moment is the Lebanese eggplant and the fairy tale. So I really highly recommend these in small space gardening or your urban permaculture garden because they're so generous. Number 4 is kale. Kale is great for small space gardening or your urban permaculture garden because you don't need many plants to get a huge amount of food. There's a whole bunch of varieties and I've tried quite a few of them. Ones that I do like, I have kept growing, and now I have little kale trees, and I just pick off the bottom leaves and use them in raw, chopped up in salads, smoothies, also in stir fries, and I just add at the very end for like curries and stir fries. Also smoothies. You can make kale chips. I even use it when I make pestos. There's so many ways that you can use kale, and you don't need a lot of space to grow it. And here where I'm growing in Perth, I've been growing mine all year round. So it just keeps growing and I have access to leafy greens all year round. Number 5 is sprouting broccoli. Sprouting broccoli is a great winter vegetable because you can get multiple harvests off the one plant. So the main stem will grow and you can harvest the top broccoli floret off that, and then by that time other broccoli sprouts would have already started off the side of the stem. You can also eat the leaves and stir fries, and the stem as well, chopped up, and you can cook that as well. So sprouting broccoli is a great choice if you don't have a lot of space but you want to get multiple harvests off one plant. So whether you have only a small space to garden or you have a really big space to garden, these 5 productive edible plants would be great in any garden. They produce so much food on only a few plants, and I absolutely love that. I'd love to know if you are growing any of these plants in your garden and what your favourite ways to use them are.